Hello and welcome to a brief overview of myself. I'm Stefan White. I'm a British historian, a public speaker, author and cruise ship speaker. And this introduction is targeted at people who appoint cruise ship speakers. So I'm going to concentrate on that aspect of my career and tell you how it all started. About 20 years ago, I was gliding down the Thames on a splendid brass and mahogany boat called a Edwardian Gentleman's Luncheon Launch, and one of the guests said, "Stefan, I'm having terrible trouble finding speakers for the garden club." Well, I had an idea in my mind of an interesting talk about a lovely man called John Tradescant, who was gardener to the royal family and founded the world's first ever museum open to the public. And I gave a talk on him, and that seemed to go down well. And I expanded my portfolio of talks and started to speak to societies and other organisations. And somebody said, Stefan, cruise ships are looking for speakers. So I sent off my CV. And my first ever cruise was about 16 years ago on Seabourn. And it was a positioning cruise from Fort Lauderdale to Lisbon. And it seemed to go down well because right up until now, I've been on Seabourn for 26 cruises. I've also been on Regent Seven Seas, Oceania. I've been on Crystal. I've been on Silver Seas. I've been on Viking, and I've been on Saga. I can do port or destination talks, but I now specialise in itinerary-related enrichment talks because many cruise ships have found that guests, before they go on board, research the ports, so they don't want to know what used to be called port or destination talks, for which incidentally I'm qualified because I went on a 3-day course by a company called P&R Agencies to how to become a destination speaker, and I've got a portfolio of more than 300 now ports, but cruise lines have discovered that guests now know the sights to see, they know the foods to try, they know the history and the culture of the ports because they've been online. So they don't want port and destination talks so much, they want enrichment talks, and that's what I now specialise in, always related to the itinerary. So my brief CV is I've been in the same house and with the same lady as my wife for 50 years. Some people might think that's an indication of a rather boring life, but I think not. I did my management training with Cadbury's, the chocolate company. I led an expedition down through Europe to follow the route of the First Crusade, and rather than return the same way, we went around the whole of the Mediterranean, circum-Mediterranean. That was an interesting experience which resulted in me being offered a job as a newsreader on television because we appeared on television several times. I went to study business administration in the States and came back because I knew that I was always wanting to form my own company as an entrepreneur. And I found a niche in the market of gifts for men, which expanded very rapidly worldwide. It became a leader in its field. We had our own warehouse in Rhode Island, servicing department stores, specialty gift stores, mail order catalogues. Not so much online in those days, but it was successful, and I sold it to one of our suppliers and who wanted to get it established in America, and I retired, and since then I've been concentrating on my public speaking, and I'm under contract with an American publisher to write 3 books, all themed on the role of women in American history. So that's keeping me rather busy. So I hope that this brief introduction gives you an idea of my capabilities. You can visit my website at stefanspeaker.co.uk, and also if you wish to ask me any questions, my email address is stefan@manorhouseguild.com. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope to have the opportunity of sailing with your line. It's certainly something that I enjoy doing very much. I enjoy socialising with guests. Very happy with my wife Erica to host tables and often volunteer as an excursion escort. So we feel that that's an important part of the appointment as a guest speaker, is to socialise with the guests and we do that on a very regular basis. So I look forward to hearing from you, and I thank you very much for listening to this brief introduction. Thank you.